What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Dad's Life Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Flack 2.0. Welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about a topic that just kind of came up, teen dating. Or not necessarily teen dating, but it will be, we'll talk about that. Something came up. I want to share with you guys, this is the Dad's Life Podcast. We talk about dad stuff. Wasn't really ready for it, but here it rears its ugly head, and we'll kind of talk about that. We'll talk about updates for PhatGuyFitness. Today is Wednesday. We started Monday, so we have 2 workouts to talk about. A little snafu there. And then, of course, holla at your homie. Get ready for this one. Because I don't even know who I'm going to holla at. I got so many people to talk about. So we're going to kind of, again, like I said, thespians do it live, baby. So that's how we're going to do. Haven't really decided who we're going to talk about. So many great people that I've interacted with on stream, off stream, friends that are doing great things, and that's what Holla at Your Homie is about. So stay tuned for that. Before we get into today's show, just wanted to remind folks, if you are listening to this in podcast form, anchor.fm, where you find me on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts. Or you're on the website, www.seanflack.com, with links to everything that we're doing. Thank you for joining. If you are watching this on YouTube, like I said, go ahead and like, subscribe, share out. And again, if you do want to just hang out with me, on Wednesdays, I do stream once a week as the current schedule goes. That is Wednesday, 9 p.m. here on Mixer. That's mixer.com/Sean_Flack. Wednesday nights, Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock. We'll be doing the show as we are doing right now. And then, of course, afterwards, we do a Q&A just about different things that people might want to talk about, either dad life related. Also like to talk about like streams. I'm a noob computer builder, so things that I've learned about that as far as helping you set up your stream, sharing my experiences, hopefully being able to inspire other people to kind of do this if that's what they wanted to do, or maybe something else that we're talking about. Okay, so let's get into the show. So teen dating. That's like that major topic. And I guess this could kind of go into like the updates for what's going on here at the Dad's Life Podcast. But just recently, my son told me he liked this girl, and obviously the 15-year-old, not the 3-year-old. Yeah, he told me he liked this girl. He wanted her. He was gonna ask her to be his girlfriend, and I kind of had to like hit him with reality. I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I'm like your dad, so I need to like kind of key you in on some stuff. The first thing I kind of had to tell him was, if you guys don't know, like my son, he has ADHD, and for the most part, when it comes to like dealing with daily tasks, he struggles with them. And, I don't want to kind of go into the super duper details of that, but he really struggles of like putting his stuff together. Like he gets it done for the most part. I want to say like 85% of the time, and that might be a little generous. But, yeah, he kind of struggles with some stuff. And so he was kind of struggling in the morning, one morning. And then I kind of asked him, like, dude, what's going on? You're a little bit more off than you normally are. So what's going on? So he kind of shares with me, he says, yeah, I've been kind of anxious the last couple of days. I like this girl, we're friends, and I kind of wanted to like tell her like, hey, I want you to be my girlfriend, right? So that's what has kind of been extra on his mind. And so I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine, great, hey, no problem. But then it kind of like was like messing his day up. And because he just wasn't focused, and we're really, really, really trying to work on his focus and stuff like that. He's like being super distracted. I mean, just really dropping the ball on some of the stuff he just does normally. But again, he was just really off this one morning, and so he was kind of like a little nervous about it or whatever. So he kind of got through his chores and stuff like that. Then he went upstairs, ate his breakfast or whatever, and was getting ready for school. And so I went upstairs, and I was like, kind of had to like hit him with a little bit of reality. And, so I kind of had to tell him, I'm happy that, he's, wanting to, he wants to approach a girl and, all this stuff, and, tell her, how he feels. It's cute, but I kind of like have to hit him like, if something like this is going to kind of mess you up, are you sure, this is kind of like what you want to do right now? Now, like I said, guys, don't hate me, but I'm his dad, and I know stuff like this is not easy. And you just kind of like want to cheer your guy on and kind of like let him know, like, hey, it's cool, and try this and try that. And we want to do that, but there's some of the things that he's doing that is going to affect his ability to what do I want to say, to like build a good relationship with just people in general. And basically I kind of had to tell him, like, think about it. And I was like, the way you are, and let's be honest, I don't want to sugarcoat nothing, but do you think, with the characteristics that you're kind of portraying with stuff and how you're kind of lackadaisical with your choices and responsibilities, that you'd be okay going over their house, and being, her parents' house and like introducing yourself and stuff like this, knowing that there's other stuff that's going on. And, yeah, like I said, I felt bad. I felt bad. I kind of had to talk to him about that. Like, I told him, hey, you're a good kid, kind of do your thing, but like, what is it? Like, kind of tell me about it, because he didn't really want to tell us about her. So, I asked him, I was like, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much do you like her? He's like, 6. It's like a 6. Man, I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I was like a 6, man, and I ain't trying to pull no trigger. If I like you a 6 out of 10, like, we're friends. That's all we gonna be. I ain't gonna put myself out there. And then he was kind of talking some other stuff, and it kind of took me aback a little bit, because obviously I forget, when I was a teenage boy or whatever. But he was like, yeah, and then she's kind of shy, and I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, but then me and my friends were like betting if she says yes or no. And I'm just like, I mean, boys, they kind of, they don't really understand. Like, man, you can't treat somebody like that. Like, it kind of hit me like, and, if you have different thoughts on this, go ahead and, hit a comment, you know what I'm saying? Shoot me a Twitter or whatever the case is, wherever you're at, however you get at me. But I was just like, man, you can't really be treating people like that. You can't treat relationships like a bet. And it's like, hee, ha, ha. Some of my friends are betting she says yes. Some of my friends are betting she says no. I was like, dude, at like a 6, and then now it's more hee, ha, ha. She's kind of shy already. Do you really want this to be like, another, She's All That, with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel A. Cook? If you don't know that movie, you're too young for this podcast. So anyway, look it up. But, you don't want it to be a bet. You don't want it to be like, oh, hey, is she going to say yes or no? And then there's a little bit more unneeded pressure. Like, you really don't have to put yourself through that. Either you're doing this because you want to and you like her and, things like that. You guys got stuff in common. But don't do this because your friends are, like, daring you or anything like that. Or she says yes, she says no. Because people shouldn't be treated as, like, bets. So that kind of took me back. And I kind of had to explain that to him. Like, look, man. Okay, so then she says yes. Now you're the man, and blah blah blah, and your friends are, oh yeah, okay, you got a girlfriend, all this and that, and then what do you get at? Where's the gratification out of that? Okay, you do it, and then what? And then I had to kind of point out, like, or she doesn't, and then you laughing stock, oh yeah, you ain't nothing, and it's like, dude, don't put yourself in situations like that when when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with relationships, don't take it so lightly that you would place a bet. It's like, oh, these are just my friends. And I was like, you know what? I mean, obviously you're 15 or whatever, but I would suggest that you kind of stand up against that. Like, don't treat people's relationships, and I might be taking it a little serious, but I'm a serious dude when it comes to people's relationships because I've been burnt. I've been, been made fun of and stuff like that, telling a girl like, oh, hey, I like you, would you like to go out, whatever, and she's like, nah, dude, you don't got this, that, blah, 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 and I'm just like, well, okay, well, obviously, your loss, I'm gonna tell you straight up, your loss, but yeah, so I kind of just had to, like, kind of, I was taken aback by that, and again, guys, you might think I'm really taking it serious, or a little bit too serious than I should be, but that's how I feel about dealing with people and dealing with people's emotions, you know what I'm saying, like, you don't sit there and you don't play with them. If, like I said, I like you a 6, then I don't really, we cool, we partners, you know what I'm saying? That's it, we kick it, if something happening, cool, but I ain't gonna put myself out like that. And then to kind of go hee hee ha ha, I'm not gonna put that person, because let's say she does say, yeah, she does really like him or whatever. And then she finds out that the only reason why he did, or one of the reasons why he did it, was because his friends made a bet on something. So, I think the wife, she had basically, really put it out there. She was like, you know what you really need to do is just focus on building relationships. Like, you don't gotta be a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever to kind of like have that kind of friendship, like build that relationship if it organically, and I'm using this, that's my word that I'm using, but if it changes into something more, then great. But if it doesn't, you're not losing a friend. You know what I'm saying? You're not putting yourself out there to where it gets awkward, or you guys are hella cool and she doesn't really feel that way about you, and then now it's awkward and now you lost a friend because you don't want to talk to you no more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Britt's just real interesting. There was that, and then, like I said, he's really struggling with some stuff, and I just had to kind of twist it. Like, look, dude, this, maybe you might want to use that little motivation to, keep your grades up. You know what I'm saying? So you could take her out, for a little movie, or get a little paper or something, so that you could, I ain't trying to raise no captain, but you know what I'm saying. If you can't really do nothing for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe you need to step back and set the table. Maybe you need to set a foundation for yourself before you bring somebody else into your life. So, obviously, that's going into adult dating, in my opinion. We could talk about that, too. I'm going to talk about dating a lot. Just because when it comes to, like, integrating two families or, bringing somebody else into your life, it's important that you love yourself first. So, again, that's going above and beyond what the original topic is, but I kind of had to tell him, like, you need to set your table first. You need to be able to set your table first and be a good man, And, again, I started to tell him about that betting thing. That's the difference between boys and men. Like, men don't do that. Men don't play emotional games like that unless they are themselves emotionally damaged. Like, this channel is always about men's mental health and finding balance and things like that. And I understand that. There are a lot of men out there that are emotionally damaged that don't know how to dig themselves out. But I kind of had to tell them, like, you need to set the table. You need to set the table and have a standard. And, when you set the table, you get to set the rules. So if you bring yourself, you don't got to settle for anything less than. You know what I'm saying, guys? If you set the table here, you can say, well, you can't just come to the table with an empty plate because I provide the table and I provide the silverware and the plates and I'm cooking up appetizers up in here. You got to bring the main dish or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Compared to just taking whoever comes your way. You know what I'm saying? So kind of had to like give him that dad talk, like, man, work on yourself first. Don't worry about getting that girlfriend. Worry about being a good man first, and then be able to pick and choose who you think is going to be good for you, and good women are going to come to a good man. So, I just said, there's a lot of things you got to work on. You got to be obviously go through this stage, and again, it's a lot of learning processes, but you really need to focus on, the wicked Wahina, she basically hit it on the nail. Like, you really need to emphasize and talk to him and let him know he needs to learn how to build and maintain relationships first. Don't lie and manipulate and be impulsive and do something stupid and then expect to get forgiven and then just keep doing the same shit over again. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't put somebody that you truly care about in a situation where they have to make these types of decisions about you. So yeah, it was a pretty heavy little discussion this morning, and among some other stuff. But he was like really tweaking a little bit, like really, really out of it. And like I said, I'm glad he opened up and had said that and kind of let us know what's going on in his head. And then, like I said, I tried to leave him, going to school with some words of encouragement, some, hey, if that's what you plan on doing, just know that this is what it comes with. It doesn't just come with, okay, I'm going to say, what happens next. There's always a next. There's always a think things through. Don't just do things on impulse. Always think about what happens next or what is going to happen because of this decision. And that's some of the problems he's having, especially with his ADHD. He wants to be impulsive. He doesn't think things through. So it is my role as his dad to be, let him know, hey, I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? Go get him, Tiger. But let's talk about some real stuff here. So with that, it was, he came home and he was, I ain't gonna say super energetic, he just running around, taking care of his business, come in, do his after school chores, and I was able to kind of pull him to the side and be like, I'm putting his business out there, but you know what I'm saying? He's 15 and these are dad problems. And dad, this ain't even a problem, but dad issues, dad things that are going to happen that I want to share with you guys and kind of give you a little heads up. This is something that you're going through. Every parent goes through, not just the dads, but the moms as well. You know what I'm saying? With the daughters or stuff like that. One of the other things, too, I have to point out, and again, I'm not to down or bash my son. My son is, I love him to death. But he has some problems. He has some things he has to work through, and as he's getting older and older, it's getting harder and harder to get him to see some of these issues because he is feeling himself, a little bit bigger than his britches. But that's what we're here for, not to give up on him. I'm growing gray hairs and shit like that, but hey, whatever, that's dad life. So, anyway, so the update, he came home and pulled him to the side. Hey, man, like, what happened? Did something happen? Is there anything we need to know about? You got yourself a little girlfriend, whatever the case is. So he said, nah. He kind of like chickened out to ask him to be, his girlfriend. But, he did say, express the fact that, he liked her a little bit more than friendship or whatever the case is. So it's cute. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing beyond that. He didn't give me any more additional information about it. Yeah, all I can say is, hey, just remember what we talked about this morning. It's more to it than just that. Again, build those relationships first, and if something happens beyond that, then it's cool. But, you don't want to burn a really good relationship because it gets awkward. So, I don't know. Maybe he pursues it a little bit more. Maybe he doesn't. Again, I ain't trying to put all of his business out there. He told me a couple other things. I ain't going to share that with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there was a little update, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So, that's dad life for you. That's, see, I want to go to a beach that looks like this. Beach that looks like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I want to be right now. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's that main topic, So there's those things that you're going to deal with, maybe you guys thought I went a little bit hard on them, a little bit more, harder than you think I should have. If you did, like I said, leave a message down in the comments, hit me a tweet, that's, on Twitter at Sean Flack, or, like I said, you could hit me on the website, whatever the case is. Anyway, so yeah, be ready. You got teenagers, be ready, boy. Man, I told him, hey, baby girl come home with somebody like you, it's bad business for him. You know what I'm saying? I need standards. So, anyway, so like move into our next topic. So, let's talk about PhatGuyFitness. Let's talk about that. So, if you're following me on Instagram, again, that's at Sean Flack. You look me up there. Head over to SeanFlack.com. That's going to have links to everything. So, that's the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook page is on there, the Discord. just everything's on there. Links to the YouTube page. Obviously, this podcast you're listening to. And, of course, the Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting up some of the PhatGuyFitness stuff. So, again, if you guys aren't aware of what's going on, PhatGuyFitness is going to be my commitment to fitness in February. Again, I chose February because generally that's when a lot of people fall off. They stop going to the gym. And I decided to say, hey, in February, I'm going to kick off this and maybe inspire other people to kind of continue. And when I mean other people, I mean plus-size models like myself. One of the reasons why I started PhatGuyFitness is because I'm really sick and tired. And like one of the people that I follow on Twitter kind of really put this out there. I'm really sick and tired of people that are in shape saying that exercise is easy. Not knowing that, you got people like me that are trying to do these exercises. And, it's a little belittling for, some of the trainers or some of the things that I've seen. It's a little demoralizing when, you don't see somebody of your own accord trying to do these exercises. Like, that P90X stuff, they make it look all easy. I can't go 90. I only can go 30. So I started PhatGuyFitness to help inspire, plus size models such as myself to get fit, to get moving, right? To get moving. That's the idea of PhatGuyFitness, to get moving. And one of the things that, again, 5 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago, if you don't know, I ran a Spartan race. I ran 2 Spartans, a Beast, which is a 13.5 mile one, a Super, or no, a sprint. I didn't do the super. A sprint, which is like a 3 mile, what is that called? A 6K or 3K, 1K, whatever K it is. It's 3.1 miles. So I was in Monterey for the Beast. I was at AT&T Park at the time. I think it's called Oracle Park or whatever it's called now in San Francisco for the sprint. I also did a Tough Mudder in Lake Tahoe around the same year, and I missed my trifecta by not going to the Super, which is, I think, the 8-mile one that was in Sacramento. I missed that when I signed up for it, but I was not able to make it. But I'd have to say those are my greatest times. Like, I signed up for something. I had a goal. I ran every weekend, did my push-ups, really had this goal to do it. And I want to do that again, and not to to kind of give myself a little bit of motivation. So when I was doing all that, I used the Nike Plus app and I used the Nike Running app, and I use those as guidelines. So I want to start using them again, but this time my motivation is going to be a little bit different, because what I actually want to do, the plan for Fat Guy Fitness, is to become a certified personal trainer. Now you guys might think like, man, you're a fat guy. Why would anybody want to take training tips from you? And my thing is that because I would understand. I understand how hard it is for a bigger body, somebody that, might emotionally eat like I emotionally eat. I'm gonna admit it here. This is my safe space. This is where I want to share stuff about me. But yeah, I'm an emotional eater. I'm a stress eater. But somebody that's fit, somebody that doesn't have those challenges, doesn't understand, what a plus size model is going through. So what I want to do is I want to make myself available and, of course, push myself this month and for at least a couple more months before I even think about seriously trying to go get a certification. Number one, it's expensive, so I want to save up some money for that. Number one. Number two, I want to be able to prove to myself and prove to you guys out there as viewers or as listeners or whatever, because these things will be put on YouTube, that I'm for it. I'm committed to it. This is something I really want to do, and it's something that I want to show my journey with and potentially share somebody or start somebody else's journey with. So anyway, I usually start off with some quotes, but the one that always hit me when I was doing those sprints and I was doing those when I was doing those Spartans and did the Tough Mudder and just trying to train and run. And the one that always hit me is that you will always be faster than the guy on the couch, and that's true. Get moving. So that's what we're doing. We're getting moving. So anyway, guys, if you guys want to follow me, go ahead and go to YouTube. It's at Sean Flack or SeanFlack.com or Sean Flack 2.0 on YouTube, something like that. Look up Sean Flack, you'll find me on there. But that's where I'm going to be posting out those workouts. If you guys want to join me there, again, there's links. I'll make sure I have a link to the description and below. I just did Monday. So, again, I started on Monday, the 2nd, I believe it was. And today's, or is it the 3rd? I forget what day Monday was, so don't quote me on that. But I started on Monday, and I did this whole routine. And on Instagram, it shows, what I'm doing for the week. So I'll probably keep the same thing, for the first couple weeks to kind of, get used to it. And it's a lot of stretching. The first one was it's called New to the Circuit. And again, if you download the Nike Plus app, I'll be posting up those on there. I'm using it as a guideline. It's a free download, and I'm gonna ramp my way up. And again, I guess you could pay, but you don't have to. So I always suggest, buy the free version, use it as a guideline, and follow along with me if you like. Again, we'll do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So Monday's one was mainly stretching, and it was 15 minutes, but it kind of goes to show you, I was winded after stretching for 15 minutes. And so, like I said, all the workouts that I'm going to be posting are going to be the free low intensity, equipment. So these are things that you could do at home. So anyway, as I was doing it, my son was, my youngest son, my 3-year-old, he was doing it with me as best he could, and it was funny and whatever, but I forgot to hit the record button. I was so upset about that. So I'm just oh, dang it. I can't even prove that I did it. But I did post up something on Instagram and, of course, on the Facebook page. And, just to kind of say, hey, we did it, showed a little thing on there or whatever, just to kind of make sure I made sure that Monday happened. And then I just finished off Wednesdays. Wednesdays was the endurance training one. And, again, low intensity, beginner, no equipment needed. I did it in our dining room floor. So I did record on that one. So I'm gonna see what I can do as far as footage for that and get that thing posted. But again, to help motivate you guys, hey, let's do this together. Let's hit this, our fitness goals. And it doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, I'm gonna have a ripped body and be like ripped in like 3 months. But it's about getting moving. It's about finding that motivation, motivating each other, finding that inspiration to get off that couch and just get moving, get walking, get stretching, and then of course building up from that. If you want to, we're doing low carb right now, so I'm not going to say no carb. I'm going to say low carb because there are some days we do eat carbs at home, and there's some days that we don't. Just kind of depending on how we feel. But again, doing some moderate changes and things like that, you'll start seeing some different changes in your body. And that's what I want to be able to show with you guys or share with you guys, not show with you guys, but share with you guys. And then kind of keep myself motivated by keeping myself accountable by getting these videos out there for you guys. And, hopefully inspire somebody. And if I am inspiring you with this, again, like, subscribe, share. If you find any kind of value in this, I always say that. Leave a comment. Tell me you don't. But yes, that's the Fat Guy Fitness Challenge. Monday I started off and everything was cool and I thought I had a video going. I did not. Today is Wednesday. I did get today done, so that was great. And then I'll make sure I got to edit it tomorrow and have it posted up by tomorrow night. Hopefully I get a little preview for you guys though, for just for tonight. Anyway, and that's basically it for Fat Guy Fitness. That's basically that. Okay, and then Holla. Let's move on to our next topic. Holla at Young Homie. Let's see how we doing on time. Oh, 26 minutes. Wow. Okay. So who do I want to talk about today? Last week, I did Rock Your Face on Streamer. She's a streamer. Love her channel, love her chat, love her stream. Go ahead and SeanFlack.com. I did a write-up on her. Quick 5 questions. She's awesome. Her chat is awesome. Her mods are awesome. Just, and like I said, just go ahead and check her out. Go to the website, check out the blog, click on her link, and check her out. Rock Your Face on Mixer. So, yeah. This week, still haven't decided who I'm going to talk about. So I might have to cut this. I'm not going to cut this out. I'm just going to make a decision. All right, let's make a decision. Who can we talk about? Okay. Let's talk about KB. Let's talk about KBKURIOUS77. Okay, so he's a streamer. I'll make sure I get all his information in the links and all that stuff below and in the descriptions and stuff like that. But KBKURIOUS77, it's interesting how I actually met him. I want to say I was, again, new to Mixer, checking out people, and I'm playing Forza. I do have Xbox Game Pass, and Forza Horizon 4 is on there. And I like those Forza Horizon games versus I like, the actual, simulators. So I was on there, and I pretty much suck at drifting, so I typed in Forza drifting or whatever the case was. And I'll go through and I'll find, whoever. I usually will go straight to the bottom just because I want to see. With people that have lesser viewers, it's easier to be able to talk to them and ask them and things like that. And I wanted to know if somebody could teach me how to drift. So I go through, and mind you, KB has a lot of subscribers. I want to say he has more than 2,000, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'll make sure I put all his information in there. Anyway, so I just go in a random person's chat. So it happened to be KBKURIOUS77. And I'm on there and watching. Again, I do my thing. I sit here and watch. I lurk, see what's going on in chat. Then, of course, I say, hey, just like I always do. What's up? Whoever. So, obviously, what's up, KB? And he goes, oh. He doesn't have a camera. And, I don't think KB is, on here to, be, this, big streamer. He likes streaming. He likes playing games because they're fun, not because he's going to make all this money or whatever on it. But he's just like, hey, dude, what's up? And so we're kind of going back and forth. I'm asking him, hey, I'm new to playing Forza. And as I'm hitting his stream, I'm getting influence. And I'm like, how the hell is this happening? So anyway, if you are playing Forza and you are watching Forza on Mixer, since Mixer is integrated into your Xbox, you actually gain influence, which is like an in-game leveling up system as you're watching Forza. And you'll get it in-game as in-game influence. So I was like, what the hell is this? So that's actually pretty cool. And I think more games, obviously the AAA games are going to be the ones that'll probably benefit from stuff like that. But anyway, I'm watching Forza, I'm watching him drift and ask him all these questions or whatever the case is. And he gave me a lot of good info. And so I, followed him, dropped some sparks. Since people I follow, and again, he's actually bigger than I normally follow, like on a random. So it's pretty interesting how I just kind of went in there and we just started chopping it up. And so I dropped some sparks, and occasionally I go in there. And again, just like my regular routine. If I follow you, I'm going to come in, drop some sparks, say what's up, and then do it moving unless you're doing something I'm interested in. So, of course, I've been in there, and I want to learn how to drift. And I go in his chat a couple times, chat him up, seeing what's going on, say hi to his people that are in there or whatever the case is. And boom. Next thing you know, he's in my chat. So now I'm, playing whatever game I'm playing. He's like, hey, dude, what's up? Just want to throw a follow. You came into my, chat me up, throw me some sparks or whatever. I just thought I'd at least come and do the same. So I said, oh, man, that's hella cool. And then through that, we start gaming together. We start, he started playing Forza with him, and he's showing me stuff and telling me about the tunes and introducing me to his guys that actually do the tunes for the drifts and just opened me up to his community of like Forza. And I was like, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. And what I loved about everybody that interacted through KB was they were like super helpful about learning how to tune and drive and drift and, just, okay, well, we'll do this and we'll do this race together. Just a really, really, again, positive community around Forza. And I love cars. So yeah, and then of course now we're playing COD together, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Currently, it's a week before Season 2, so they're doing double XP. I'm actually going to jump on after today's stream and after today's episode. But yeah, anyway, long story short, go check out KBKURIOUS77, Mixer.com. I'll make sure I get all of the information in the description below. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about people that really made an impression on me. He's definitely one of them. He lives across the country, but it's interesting how the internet has been able to connect us to people that we think are cool that we wouldn't have no chance of doing. So anyway, check them out. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Again, the Dad's Life podcast. As always, before we close out today's episode, don't forget to go ahead and like, subscribe, share if you're watching on YouTube. I am hosted on Anchor.fm, so check them out if you're interested in doing any kind of podcast. I do suggest them, and, not because I'm sponsored on doing a sponsorship for them, but literally they got me into, it's definitely a great platform if you want to start a podcast, because everything is integrated. You don't even need any crazy high-tech stuff just to get yourself in the door and see how you feel about producing a podcast. So, and there's always that. Again, head over to SeanFlack.com. Again, that's the website that has links to this show, the YouTube, just every project that I'm working on, the blog, the Instagram, the Twitter. You could even hit me on a tab on the website to talk to me directly. If you want to do that, chat it up. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You'll find me here next week, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until that next episode, thank you for watching and peace. Oh, did I say watching? Oh my God. Thank you for listening. But I guess if you're on YouTube, you would be watching. Hopefully you got this far. Anyway, thank you for listening. Until the next episode. Peace.